most of the like anti-character guides or punishment guides, they don't tell you, you know, how a character works. They just tell you, you know, punish, I don't know, this move, punish that move, right? But to really, you know, get to a certain rank or like level in Tekken, you need to understand, you know, how the character works, right? So this is why I want to do something different and tell you exactly how Nina works, what options you have, so you actually understand, you know, what this crazy character is doing, and give you like, you know, the confidence that you actually know the matchup, you know what's going on, and you're not just, you know, watching and guessing for you know, for your life. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over in this tutorial is her new move, which is like forward 4, right? And the extension. Believe it or not, this move looks quite annoying at first, right? Because like she goes into like this size 1 cancel, starts her mix up, and like all you do is like watching and, you know, hoping it's going to be over soon. There's a way to deal with this. So first of all, like, you know, usually what all Nina players do is, you know, like sidestep this move, like cancel this by doing a sidestep, right? And they either go into like this, yeah, sidestep 1 cancel, or they go into a low, right? Or they just throw. And a good thing is you can beat all of these options by just doing a dig jab. Even the extension, right? Because the second move is a high, you can just dig jab. Most people I play online, they never do this. They just keep watching, right? And I can do whatever I want, like boom, 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 right? So if you want one simple thing, just dig jab. Now here's the thing. If you dig jab, of course I have options, right? Otherwise Tekken would be boring and there would be no mind games. So I basically have 2 options. One is, of course, I can just stop and low parry, right? But the other thing I can do, she can actually, boom, you saw that? So basically, you know, I go into a sidestep cancel, go to circle back like Hayashida, right? And if I see you with your down jab, I can boom, press 4 and launch you. But to be honest, like for most ranks, like Nina's will probably just stop and do nothing and block. And this is definitely what you should abuse. So, you know, you're not victim to like this crazy freaking unga bunga mix-ups, you know, not like it's just insane, right? Now there's one more thing actually that she can do, or that you can do, and it's sidestepping. Let me show you. What you should do when you play Nina is really observe what the player is doing, right? Not the character itself, but the player. If you see like they're always canceling, you know, into the background, you can sidestep this cancel by moving into the opposite direction, right? So move into the foreground. But if you see they're always, you know, canceling like towards you, then you go into the background. See here, I do a like super quick cancel to the foreground. Boom, see? Easy sidestep. The thing is, when you try to launch it, you'll probably get hit. It's like really weird. And even if you whiff, like even if she whiffs, like she can block in time. But like I could potentially like just do this like low check, right? And then, you know, I'm in plus frames and I can mix you up. So I really have to see what works with your character, because she recovers extremely quickly after that. Now let's move on to down forward 1-2 strings. This one is a bit tricky because you know, like usually she can do like just one down forward 1, right? See how you react. You know, if you retaliate, like she can sidewalk. She could go into like, you know, back sway, launch you, whatever, right? Punish you. Sometimes what you can also do, but like, you know, people go into like Hayashida steps after and then go into the sweep. They do this because, you know, doing this like cancels, kind of masks, you know, the next move you do. This is so always be prepared if you see like, you know, Nina's doing like Hayashida cancels. They're probably trying to do this low. It's you know, just be ready. But anyway, so this move of course has a extension like in down for the 1-2, and here's where the, well, let's say misery begins, because she can, you know, go into like sidestep cancel, which is usually fake pressure, right? Because you can just, because on block it's like 0, and sidestep 1 is 14 frames, so you can interrupt this with, you know, if like 13 frames move or faster, no problem. Like just you can just check with down forward 1, right? And there's nothing she can do. She'll always get hit. But of course she has other extensions, right? Like, you know, down for 1-4 or down for 1+2. These both give counter hit combos for massive damage. Something you don't really want to get hit with, right? And she also has this 1+2 follow-up, which, by the way, if the first hit hits you, it's guaranteed. So how do you deal with this? Of course, one way you could, you know, do is just block. But if you do, you open, like, you give it the opportunity to do even more mix-ups, which, you know, you can just go into forward dash, right? And from there she has you know, this knee. She can go into the low. She could actually do the side steps again, right? She could just do nothing, right? Come with a low or whatever. So you see, it's like it's really complex. But here's the thing: I want you to know like the most common options. So usually, what a Nina player will do is, you know, see how you react, right? If you retaliate, they will probably go for like the 4 option, or, you know, 1+2, because of course they give the highest reward, right? It's a combo. But you can actually sidestep left all those extensions, something I rarely see, but it's a bit tricky because this only applies if they delay the move, right? If they just let it drip, there's nothing you can do. So if you attack or sidestep, you will just get hit. So, but yeah, let me show you first. You see? And you know, this one, it's -6. But again, if you know, the thing is with this move, if you know they're going for the 4 option, you can also sidestep right, which like it will always whiff. Of course, unless, you know, unless they don't delay. And but again, I would always go for sidestep left because there's also, you know, the 3rd option. Oops, this one. And this one you can only step left. Boom. And if she usually commits for the full string, right? And then, holy crap, you can just launch her, right? So this is usually like your best bet. But now here's the thing: if you decide to block, right, this is where it gets, you know, where we get another layer of mix-ups. Now we can do the forward dash stuff, and this is something you see a lot. You will see this so much that usually I know about this. A lot of new players will poke with, you know, down for 1-2, forward dash, and then do while rising 4. It's so often that it just, yeah, you really need to know it. The thing is, you can, when she does this, you can actually jab interrupt, or dig jab this transition. But if you do, here's the thing what I can do to counter it, right? Usually what you see most often is, what you will see is this one, this low, quarter-cycle forward 3, because it crushes highs, right? And it can give you, it can give me a counter launch again. Another thing I can do is the quarter-cycle forward 2, sorry. Heat engager, right? Mid, especially cool at the wall, right? Where I can get a splat or even get a combo with heat dash. Super important to know. And here's the thing how to deal with that. For the 3 and the 2, you can actually sidestep left, and both options will whiff. Except for the 4, which you can sidestep right. So it's really disgusting, right? So usually what I would do, I would either challenge or step left. Of course, depending on what character you play, you could also go for parry, right? Then the only thing that will hit me is, of course, quarter-cycle 3. But you see, there's not one answer. This is really what you have to know. Alright, these are the most common options. Oh, and one more thing before I forget. If you sidestep, right, after the dash, there's one more thing that Nina can do. It's this while rising 2. It will catch sidesteppers and launch you, but the move itself is -12. So yeah, definitely remember this as well. It's super rare, but you might see it at higher levels of play, so just so you know. Now, there's one thing I mentioned before we go to the SS1 cancels. All we talked about so far was everything that I said about downfall 1-2 also applies to 1-2. She can do the same things, see all those same moves from her jabs. So this is something you should also know. And what you will actually see a lot, especially in lower ranks, is jabs into sidestep 1, and then into quarter-cycle forward 1. This sidestep 1 into quarter-cycle forward 1 is a super common frame trap. Even on block, there's nothing you can do, except for ducking. But since just like with downfall 1-2, 1-2 into sidestep 1, again 1-2 sidestep is 0 on block, so you can again interrupt her, with your fastest mid, for example, and really stop that offense. The only thing where this doesn't apply is on hit. Let's say she punishes you, right, with her jab string. Then there's nothing you can do. She can immediately go into the sidestep 1, and you cannot interrupt unless you have a parry or something. But you have to eat this, and then just see what she will do, after the sidestep 1 cancel, right? If she will go into whatever crazy thing, in this, or actually into the frame tab, right? But just so you know, this is something that's super common, and you don't have to respect it, you can challenge it. Alright, with that being said, let's go into the sidestep 1 cancels. Now, here's the thing. Sidestep 1 is pretty much, Nina's iconic move, right? It's what she's famous for. And it's a really dang good move. Honestly, I love using this. For me, SS1s means dopamine. So it's extremely fun, that's why I play her. But it has holes, right? Holes a lot of people don't know about. For example, what you will see quite often, it's what Nina's used to apply pressure. They do a sidestep 1 cancel into a down back 3 low. And as you can see, this low is +4. So, you cannot interrupt my down forward 4, down forward 1. And it gives me basically this free opportunity to go into like this down forward 1 mind game we just talked about, right? You can sidestep this though. And let me tell you, the usual thing you want to do against Nina is to sidestep right. Remember that. Sidestep right is usually her weak side. There's only a few things she can do right, apart from homing moves, like this one, which is a high, right? You can duck it. Her well-standing 1 tracks right, but there's not much she can do. So always remember that. The only thing I could do after this to stop you from stepping is like 1+2, for example, 1+4, or again, a homing move. So be prepared. But most often, if I do that and you sidestep, you'll probably get a free launch the first time, because most Ninas don't expect this. At least not on a lower level, right? On higher level, of course, they see if you react what you do, and then they adapt. But yeah, this is super important to know. Super common, right? But here's the thing. This like sidestep 1 cancel into down back 3. You can actually, like if she's doing it, even if it's a perfect cancel, you can just down forward to her. You don't know how often people just keep watching me doing this like all over, like all the time, like do several down back freeze into another. It's crazy. Like you could just interrupt me with a down forward 2, and I'll read a launcher for it. So, which also means you can do any faster move as well, right? And really stop her from abusing the slow. Another thing about sidestep 1 cancel is that what you will often see is this move here, which is, it's not interruptible, right? Unless the Nina isn't canceling perfectly, and you jab in between this, you'll get countered. So always be prepared. Now another super important thing with Nina is this sidestep 1 cancel into down forward 1 or down forward 1 2. Like you see, it's like you can step it to the left actually. You cannot step it to the right, which is our usual weak side. What you really want to look out for is this, and if they abuse it, like challenge, right? This, try to sidestep it left if you can. Otherwise, see what they're doing after that, and apply the stuff we just learned about it down forward 1 2. Mix up some mind games, or if she going for this, don't just block. Don't assume she'll do it. This move you can block on reaction. You see, it's like a 2-hit string. You can actually, with a little practice, you can block the second on reaction. So super crucial. Now obviously when I say there's nothing you can do, I'm referring to general pokes, and you cannot interrupt with regular moves, right? But you can actually just power crush, right? After sidestep once. See? Like there's nothing I can do unless I go for a low throw, right? So what Nina can usually do is like, you know, sometimes when I do this, I get a counter hit, right? When I let's say go into this quarter circle forward free, I could get a launch, right? Or what you also see is this string, right, gets guaranteed. So of course there's a risk for you, you know, going for a power crush. But just know, if they keep, you know, like pressuring you with all those things, like this quick jabs and whatnot, and yeah, pokes, you can just power crush. So yeah, keep that in mind. Super important to know as well. Now a quick note on her lows. As you can see, like, you know, down back 3, down 2, you know, quarter circle forward 3. Yeah, like her main poke, like low pokes if you can call them, they're quite slow. And the thing is, I know there's a debate, you know, around what's seeable and whatnot, but usually 20 frame plus, there's people who can block that. And this is a weakness of Nina. Like her main lows are actually seeable if you know, play against like really experienced opponents, which happened to me only a few days ago, where I played like in a tournament player, and he literally blocked 90% of, you know, my kilos. Like all of these, he blocked them on reaction, right? So this is something I would also remember, that you can practice reacting on these lows, right, for a while and see if you can block it. Because if you do, like literally playing with Nina becomes insanely harder. So yeah, definitely something I want to add or just mention about her lows, that's a weakness not many people like think about, but yeah, at high level play it's definitely a thing. So if you want to be real, like go beast mode against Nina, practice reacting to these lows, and I'm telling you, you'll be a living hell for any Nina player, like that's for sure. We almost covered everything. A few more things. First of all, Nina has a parry, right? And there's a few like parry setups you should know about or be aware that Nina players use most often, so it's really helpful. First of all is her 1+4 on block. Really watch out if the Nina players is going for a parry. It's quite often, you know, if I see people, you know, if I try to, let's say, you know, I do this, and you know, then I do the 1+4 to stop you from, you know, sidestepping, you block, and I see you always attack afterwards, boom, parry. It's really good. Another thing is her down back 2, like, you know, slow long range homing move. But yeah, also really good for parry setup afterward. A lot of people attack afterwards because it looks, yeah, it just looks like super minus, and people just, you know, throw out jabs or whatever. So keep that in mind. And a third option that it's not that common, but you do see it, is sidestep 1, 2, and boom, parry. Not as often as those, you know, first two, but it definitely is a nice setup. So yeah, remember those 3 for now. Then her throws. So like next, let's cover her throws. Nina is one of the few characters who have like a real throw game, which means she has throws you have to break with, you know, pressing 1. she has a throw you have to break with pressing 2, and also 1+2 of course. So yeah, you need to be good at breaking throws against Nina, which is annoying, right? I know it's hard, but if you want to beat her, you have to. So one thing I want to mention here is what a lot of people go for is like the down forward 1. Yeah, down forward 1, right? This one. It can break the floor, so be aware of that. If you're on a floor break stage, Nina players probably might want to go for this to get a combo. Other than that, there's down forward 2+3. Oops. Sorry, I mean down forward 2+4. And the crazy part about this throw is that on hit, this is actually guaranteed. It's a lot of damage. Now the thing is, if you stand up, I can also go for my power crush heat engager, which is super disgusting. You have to, because like here's the thing, this and to the FFC, I messed it up. It has a really strict timing. So sometimes what people do to get to still get a hit when they're worried if they will get the timing here for is they do the power crash. A lot of people try to stand up quickly and block this move because it's like -14 on block, can punish it. But this is where this actually hits, and this is disgusting, especially when you're at the wall, or if I am at the wall and I use this throw. Actually, let me show you. Like sometimes it can position you like right now. It can position you next to the wall, and if you then wake up quickly and I do this, I get a wall spray, right? And heat engage, a wall spray, wherever, massive damage. So especially if you're at the wall, don't stand up. Just don't. Okay, super good to know. But I get people so often with that if they're next to wall, and it gives me a win. It's crazy. Of course, next to these, Nina also has chain throws, right? And let me tell you, they're you should know what to do, because what I see often is that when I press wrong one, when I do these, on certain throws I only have 1 or 2 options, but my opponent is pressing 1+2, hoping that he'll break the throw somehow, right? This is something where you should be aware of, where she has 1+2 options and where not, so you don't press something for nothing, right? So let's get over this quickly. First of all, there's probably the most common option is quadricycle forward 2+4. In this case, you actually have 3 routes. You can go for 1 break, a 2 break, or 1+2 break. So and honestly, the most time you will see this is after her heat smash. People will go, when you block it, they will go into this throw mix-up. Obviously, you can, you can usually avoid the first by pressing, this first one by pressing 2. But once you're in, once I get you with the first one, you have to guess between 3 different options, right? Now here's the thing, if I press if I do the 1+2 break, there's only like, that's it, there's nothing else that can come, right? If I CC will just do this, done. But if she goes for the 1 or 2 break options, there's no 1+2 option anymore. So you just have to guess between 1 or 2. Super important to remember. Second, and this is the good part, for all her other chain throws, there is no 1+2 break, okay? So the second one is this. It's the 1 option, right? Quarter cycle 1+3. And you only have to guess between 1 or 2 breaks afterward. And then she has her like infamous, you know, betrayer, right? Like this first one is actually unblockable. There's nothing you can do. It's mostly used as a, you know, tech trap of like after wall combo, or what a lot of Ninas like to do is, you know, they do some combo and then they kind of end in this move, like quarter cycle 1 or forward 1, or you know, quarter cycle forward 2. They dash towards you, and if you tech, you know, they do like this, you know, back sway, and if you tech roll, boom, I can actually catch you and guess unblockable throw, right? So be aware, if you see Nina doing like ending the combos with like, you know, like quarter cycle forward 1 or 2, they are probably trying to set you up. But yeah, anyways, again, if you see betrayer, you only have to press 1 or 2, right? There is no 1+2 option. Super important to know, because otherwise, you know, you'll just press for your life, thinking you're trying to avoid something, but no, you're just yeah, wasting your time and letting me, you know, just do like crazy throw mix up, which you know, also do a lot of damage, especially if I do the advanced inputs. And last but not least, there's a few things that are good to know. This move you will see quite often in lower level ranks, right? You need to duck this. In Tekken 8 she actually has mid mix up, but this is -10 on block. Remember that, because a lot of Nina players do this crap, right, in lower ranks, which also launch punishable on block, the full string. But you know, they like to cancel this into like weird shit, and then, you know, like the best thing you can really do is learn to duck this string. Secondly, duck this. We went over this, right? You can just dig jab. And a really nasty thing Nina players love to abuse, especially in low levels, because it's just pure dopamine, is her can cancels. You know, this right here. Like the second hit is always a low. You can, and that's the crazy part, you see there's between the low and the cancel, there's quite a lot of time. You can block and launch it, or you can just you know, parry the low. This is something you need to practice a bit, but I would recommend you highly to do this, because you know, if not, the Nina player will just mock you online. Like they would just abuse this. It's just way too much fun to use, so yeah, definitely be aware of that. If there's anything else you want to know, let me know, because you know, this video, I don't know how long this will be after I edit it, but it's quite a lot of information already. Yeah, and there's probably something I missed, but I think just, you know, knowing all this, what I just showed you, you'll have a much better chance at fighting Nina, knowing what's actually going on. So yeah, but if there's anything else you want to know, please let me know. I will answer you in the comments. And yeah, I hope you will actually beat all those scrubby Ninas online now, and I hope I won't regret uploading this. But anyway, man, thanks for staying till the end, and yeah, see you soon.